My name is Matt Stevens. I play guitar, and I'm from Toronto.
I'm going to ask you a couple of questions more from like the audience perspective,
Yeah.
which is you live in New York City. So how did you, you're originally from Toronto. How did you
Yeah.
end up in New York?
I went to school in Boston. I went to Berkeley for almost 3 years, and then when I was finished there, I just followed like a gang of friends from you know Boston to New York. It was just where everybody was going, and also at that time, I was following the one gig I had, which was playing with Christian Scott, and so he was moving to New York. The whole band was moving to New York, and so I went to New York too.
Nice. And you live in Harlem.
Yes.
Okay. Why Harlem out of curiosity?
Um, you know, I didn't plan to be there, but my brother-in-law bought a co-op in a building, and when he was going to Columbia, and then a friend of his was selling his unit in the same building, and and we bought it from my wife and I bought it from my brother-in-law's friend Alec.
Oh, nice. Great.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
kind of fell into
That'll do
love.
it.
That'll do
That'll
it
do it.
exactly. Yeah.
Can you tell us about the music we're going to hear?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to play 15 to 20 minutes of solo acoustic guitar. So I have a new solo record that just came out last week, and it's all played on this beautiful little 56 Martin that I have that I just love and spent almost all of my guitar playing time on it during this past year. And so, yeah, I really wanted to play some of that material. This will be my first chance to play some of it in front of anybody. And also, this was an opportunity to give a new group a try that I had been kind of conceiving of in my mind for some time, and thinking about a way to kick off, and that I hope to record at some point in the next year with Joe Dyson and Desron Douglas. So yeah.
Okay. And anything with the trio or the solo as well? Can you tell us anything about the music, like
Yeah.
either inspiration or direction or anything?
For the trio stuff, I'm going to play some music. I've always been curious about how some of the music that I wrote for this band that I had with a guy called Walter Smith who plays saxophone. We had this kind of ongoing series called In Common, and there's a couple records out, and I've written a lot for that band, and I'm interested to see how some of that translates to trio. And also, um, you know, we're going to do something that I've never done, which is we're gonna play some standards. Um, um, and I've always, not always, more recently been interested in doing something along those lines, and I was just thinking of the right time and the right people to do it with. And I played a lot with Joe over the years, and Desron is just someone that I whose beat I think is amazing, and who I've admired from afar, and I thought that those guys would be um, great to delve into some of this repertoire with. And for the solo stuff, it's all original music, um, short, shorter songs that are more composed and more centered around the guitar specifically, the timbre of the guitar, pulling different sonorities out of the guitar, um, things that are arguably more guitaristic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Nice.
think it should be an interesting balance.
Yeah. Great. Um, Also, I know you're going to do a masterclass for a small group of people. Can you tell us anything about what you kind of do in masterclasses, or maybe what to expect?
Yeah. Um, I expect a good conversation. I'm hoping for a good conversation between myself and all the participants. I, I, I like to talk about, what my own priorities are as a musician, and as an improvising musician, but things that I kind of hold high, on my list of priorities, and that I try to bring to lots of different situations, because I sort of I think I'm a little different in that I work in a lot of different corners of the music business. So I write songs for other people. I've the last 5 years I've produced a lot of records. I write songs for other artists. I play in a lot of improvised music situations still. Um, and I think through that, I've learned a lot about what's important to me in any music making situation. And they're not so much rules as just observations and things that I find, helpful for myself and that I hope could be helpful for other people too.
That's great. I'm super excited for it. I think that's all the questions I have. Anything you can think of to add before that I didn't ask or you didn't cover?
No, just come to the show. It's going to be really fun. I'm so excited to be out here playing again, man. And we're going to have a really good time. So we'd love for you to join us.